So I wanted to share about a saint in my life, and this is a woman by the name of Mary Helen Franco. The first time I met her was out at a place called Camp Grady Spruce. It's a YMCA camp out west of Fort Worth on Possum Kingdom Lake. And Mary Helen was a leader at that place when I was a child. So she's probably a dozen or so years ahead of me, but she was a leader in my life. And I saw her as a young child. She was kind of a mother figure or a mentor. I knew she was the boss, and as an 8-year-old kid, I'm like, ooh, I'm kind of a little bit scared of this person. But over time, this boss became my first boss. As I became a camp counselor over time of my life, I've watched her build community, not only of the campers that came and were paying customers, but of the staff. And as she led the leaders, that's what I most appreciate about her over the generations as she stayed out there quite a number of years. And over time, I watched her continue to build communities of leaders every summer and throughout the year that would do the work of that place. And those people, over time, we became friends. And Mary Helen was sort of this figurehead, a little bit, you know, this mother figure for us all. But now we're all, we still have this amazing friend group. All these ladies were in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and maybe even a couple of 70s, where we have, again, sort of like you have in church, with a cross-generational group of women that support one another through all the tragedies and triumphs of life. So in my particular case, I have people that are ahead of me that are doing things that I'm planning to do, you know, in the grandmother realm. And I also have people behind that I'm maybe mentoring in their careers or being a parent of a kid, that sort of thing. So it's been fantastic to watch her. Her legacy, she doesn't realize that we all think that she's this mastermind. But so we all had kids. Those kids grew up in that summer camp because it was so important to us. They became counselors. Now those counselors are, continuing this legacy to the next generation. And this is in a time where kids mostly want to just be on technology and not go out to a traditional summer camp. They crave that time. They're like, here, Mom, take my phone. I want to go out there. I want to ride horses. I want to ski behind a boat. I want to hike, etc. And it's really being in that natural beauty and being a steward of that for the next generation is really special. And I would say that Mary Helen helped for our generation to realize the importance of that. As she was the steward of her surroundings, she also helped us learn fundamental truths through song, through lessons that she taught around campfire or elsewhere. Mary Helen Franco is so humble. Like, she would never take credit for any of these things that she's done. But on almost every occasion that I'm around her, I just thank her, because my life would not have been the same without her in it, nor would my friend group be as strong, and our faith is stronger because of her. There was a specific memory that I never really understood it when I was a kid, but on Saturday afternoons, she would leave camp every Saturday afternoon, and sometimes she would take a couple kids with her, and I didn't really understand what was going on. She was taking all the Catholic kids that wanted to go to Catholic Mass to Mass at the lake, and they would go in their summer camp t-shirts, flip-flops, and so forth, and she was helping those folks, those kids, to realize what they felt was important in their faith. And they went off, we all thought that they were just going to get milkshakes or something, but no, they were actually going to church, and then they'd come back and be back with us for dinner. And that was something I recognized that she did every week, week in and week out, year after year, and that continues. I mean, she opens the doors every week at church. That woman, it's so foundational for her to have that church time every week, just to keep her on the path of serving her Lord. And seeing that happen over decades has really been inspirational to me. There's a program at this camp called the Ragger Program, and it's a program where each person individually decides if they want to make goals for themselves for the next year. And you get paired up with a counselor, and over time, if you do it for a number of years, perhaps it becomes a really important part of your being. And so much so that I can still remember now, many generations later, or many decades later, the foundational sort of mantra, and I'm just going to mention it. I would be true, for there are those who trust me. I would be pure, for there are those who care. I would be strong, for there's much to suffer. I would be brave, for there's much to dare. I will be friend to all, the foe, the friendless. I will be giving and forget the gift. I will be humble, for I know my weakness. I will look up and laugh and love and lift. Now, I'm not someone that memorizes something, but that meant something to me as an 8, 9, 10, and 12-year-old, and that was because of Mary Helen's leadership, that program got established and that we started to understand that life was bigger than just whatever we as a kid thought, and that there was something bigger to live for. And I believe that because she was such an inspiration to many of the leaders out there, that this program got established and has made multiple generations after her learn it, live it, and share it with others. I'm just so thankful to have Mary Helen Franco in my life. I cannot imagine my life without her in it, and the ripple effect that her influence has had on so many generations of people for many years to come.